Hello, everyone. Well, Election Day is less than 2 days away now, and it's almost time to vote. And I know a lot of you are undecided out there and aren't sure whether you even want to vote or just skip the polls altogether or vote for a third candidate because because you don't like any of the choices. And I can understand that. Your choices in this election are not great. And that's why there are so many undecided people in this election cycle, because the undecided ones, their choices aren't great, and they would rather not even vote if they have to choose between one of the two choices. And I can totally understand that. I can totally understand why you would not want to vote when your choices are so dismal. But I just wanted to make this video very quickly to remind you what's at stake in this election. I know it sounds cliche to say what's at stake, but that's life. Life is cliche sometimes. So one of the things that's on my agenda, top of the list, is planet Earth. What will our planet be like at the end of the next 4 years? Will it be intact? Will it be sound and whole? Or will it be broken beyond repair? And that's what I want to discuss with you today, is the state of the earth. Now, I just want to say that even if we did not know that Trump wants to drill, even if we didn't know that, he would still not be a good choice, because the former president, Donald Trump, is seriously mentally ill. And let me tell you why I say that he's mentally ill. The past few weeks, he has, first of all, he said that he would save women whether they wanted saving or not, that he was going to rescue women whether they wanted to be rescued or not. He said that he invited a comedian that denigrated Puerto Ricans to his Madison Square Garden rally. He had a rally in Madison Square Garden, it's true, and there was a comedian that was, if you can even call him a comedian, it wasn't funny, that was slamming Puerto Rico, women, black people, Jews. There was no one who was off subject, and they just stood there and let him deliver. They let him deliver his whole speech without pulling him off the stage. So that was like tacit approval for whatever this comic was saying about these vulnerable groups. And then he was said that his Madison Square Garden rally was a love fest. That's how Trump described it, a love fest. And then he goes on stage and says that at another rally, I think it was Milwaukee, he said that he wanted to point 9-barrel guns at Liz Cheney's face. He wanted to train 9 barrels on Liz Cheney's face and see how she likes it. And then he called her a war hawk, saying that it was because she was a war hawk that she deserved to be shot. And then he was talking about roughing up people in the back room when his microphone went off. His microphone wasn't working, and then he performed fellatio on the microphone in front of a whole audience. And it was really gross, and it was disgusting, and nobody liked it. Nobody liked what he did. So, oh my gosh, he's just gone off the deep end, hasn't he? This time he's gone off the deep end. Every day he makes a new comment. He said that they would have to shoot reporters before they get to him if they were trying to assassinate him. That they'd have to shoot the reporters first. I mean, the guy is totally off the rails. And when Kamala just so nicely, succinctly puts it that he's unhinged and and out of bounds. That's just her way of saying that he's mentally ill. He's seriously mentally ill. And I don't want somebody who's seriously mentally ill being in charge of the nuclear codes, obviously. So what could happen to the earth? Worst case scenario would be a nuclear war. Trump starts a nuclear war to cement his power because he knows that during a wartime they can't turn away a president. The president gets an extended stay in the White House during wartime. That already happened in Ukraine. The Ukrainian president Vladimir Zelensky is now a permanent fixture of their presidency because he's in the middle of a war and they can't hold an election during a wartime. So the same thing could happen with Trump. Trump could try to start a nuclear war and then cement his power. He doesn't care what happens to the world. He doesn't care about beautiful artifacts that humans have put together. He doesn't care about the natural world and all the beautiful animals and plants and things. He doesn't care about any of that. Only thing he cares about is himself. And I know I said before that Kamala Harris doesn't love America, but guess who hates America most of all? It's Trump. Trump hates America. He hates us. He's getting sick of us. He was even thinking of moving to a foreign country at some point. The only way he would stay an American is if he could be president. And what does that say about Trump? That he would only want to be an American citizen if he could be president. Something's wrong there, and people who follow him, there's something wrong too, because they should see now, at this point, so late in the game, that Trump is seriously unhinged and off the wall and mentally ill. So, that's the worst case scenario. Now let's see the best case scenario. Best case scenario is where he drills, and not only does America run out of its limited supply of oil, but also the environment suffers, and more people lose their homes in the U.S. Southeast. The southeast quadrant of the United States, people will be wiped out. And there were floods even as far north as New York and Maine. There was flash flooding from these storms. So we should pay attention because this could be our future. Our future is at stake as a country. Our future is on the line. The homes of millions of people are in the firing squad of the environmental crisis. It's just like loaded barrels pointed at these people's faces because these storms are robbing them of precious heirlooms, family photos lost, gone forever, and precious personal belongings lost, gone forever, and people's lives lost, gone forever. That's what's at stake. The environment is at stake. And the environment affects the weather. And the weather affects people's livelihoods and homes and lives. So what are we going to do about this? Well, I'm going to vote for Kamala on Tuesday because she's the only one who will do anything at all to help the environment. Trump certainly won't. Trump won't put together a coalition of countries to help save the environment. He won't even participate. He won't have the slightest thing to do with saving the environment. In fact, he is a climate denier. He's still denying that our climate is changing and causing these supermassive storms. and fires raging in the western United States. He's denying it all. He even said that he would deny aid to California unless they voted for him, and that he would make their votes, that the aid that they received would be contingent upon the way they voted. So Trump has become a no good Nick, and just like he's said so many ludicrous, frankly crazy things that he said in the past few months leading up to the election. I mean, the thing about that he would attack Russia and China if he had been president, that he would attack Russia and China, and the thing about he was going to, you know, I mean, there was just so much. There were so many things that he said. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but boy, oh boy, did he say a lot of crazy things. Well, I'm telling you right now, because of the way things have gone, I am very, very disappointed in Trump. I'm very disappointed. I feel cheated, actually, because he was our one last hope to stay out of these wars in the east of us, the eastern part of this, not the western hemisphere, but the eastern hemisphere. The wars, like the wars that Israel is engaged in, and that Ukraine and Russia are engaged in. Those wars, we can't stay out of them, no matter who we vote for, because Trump said that he would attack. And he said that no one had done more for Israel than him, so that people that were Jewish that didn't vote for him were crazy. And then he called Biden the R word. Now, we didn't hear about this until now, but it was back in June or July that he called Biden the R word. R. Joe Biden. And it was... They had to persuade him not to do it and not to use it, but it came out publicly that he did this. He's seriously ill. Seriously. So when you go out to that poll, think about the earth. Think about whether you want a mentally ill man in charge of the free world and holding all the nuclear codes at the tip of his fingers, with more loyal, dedicated workers around him than ever before that won't stop him this time from pushing the button. Because he tried to push the button before, according to a 4-star general, and the 4-star general stopped him, and now Trump wants that 4-star general to be hanged or shot to death, the usual. What he does to all of his so-called enemies. I'm Sarah Jane Alpha Wolf signing off. You guys have a terrific week, and don't forget to vote. I'm serious. Don't forget to vote. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. Just be sure you get to the polls and vote.